Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to day 5 of albums that are 40 years old in 2023. That's right, we're going back to 1983. We got 28 days in February. We are picking out our 28 favorite albums that came out in the great year of 1983. Once again, kind of like it was for 1973 last month, there's a ton of great releases from 1983. Kind of difficult to put a list of 28 together, 28 favorites. I found this a tad easier than 73. I think 73, obviously, we know was a major, major year. 83, really good too. So there's going to be some that aren't going to quite make my top 28. Doesn't mean I don't love them, though, so we'll fit those in the honorable mention show. But this particular album, which came out June 13th, 1983, was the debut album from this guy and his band. It was recorded at Downtown Studio in Los Angeles, California, and Riverside Sound in Austin, Texas. Epic Records, produced by Richard Mullen and the band. We're talking about Texas Flood from Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble. Has there been as great a opening statement for a guitar slinger since the 70s? Probably not, right? Especially, this is a perfect example of, blues artists not really selling a ton in the 80s or the 90s, right? It's a little more of a specialist genre, right? It's a little bit more of a niche type of thing, not really big and mainstream. But this album debuted number 38 on the U.S. Billboard charts. Sold 2 million records. So again, never was a top 10 seller, but a steady seller. You don't move 2 million units here in the States for nothing, right? Let's see, charting, number 38 Billboard, New Zealand, number 16, Canada, 16, in Belgium, 116, Australia, 46. Went platinum in Canada, gold in France and New Zealand, silver in the UK, and like I said, 2 times platinum here in the States. So this was a big seller, and there was a lot of press, a lot of focus on Stevie Ray Vaughan. Of course, he also played on David Bowie's Let's Dance album, right? So Stevie Ray Vaughan was everywhere, went out and toured immediately, did a lot of touring before or after the album was released, but was also pretty regular on the touring scene, especially down in Texas before the album got released. And just good stuff. There are the guys right there. Stevie Ray Vaughan, guitars and vocals, Tommy Shannon on bass, and Chris Layton on drums, the original Double Trouble. Double meaning the 2 rhythm guys, right? Double Trouble. They eventually, Reese Winans would join the band on keyboards, right? They would become a 4-piece. But fantastic stuff on here. Blues album, but still plenty of rock on here as well. You got, the fun shuffle of Love Struck Baby. You got the single Pride and Joy. That guitar tone, man, playing that beat-up Stratocaster. I mean, Stevie had a very recognizable tone. When Stevie was playing, if you heard a song on the radio or whatever and you weren't quite sure what it was, you heard that guitar and you're like, oh yeah, that's Stevie Ray Vaughan, right? Texas Flood, amazing slow blues song. Absolutely sizzling guitar solos and everything. You had, Tell Me, again, more like kind of straight ahead, old school blues. Testify, Rude Mood, lovely Rude Mood, I love that. Mary Had a Little Lamb, great take on that. You had the incredible, gritty, Dirty Pool. And you have I'm Crying, and then Lenny. I absolutely love Lenny. I mean, I when you talk about the short but great discography of Stevie Ray Vaughan, all of his albums are really good. I always have a hard time not picking this one as my favorite. It's just something, the follow-up is, Couldn't Stand the Weather is terrific. The third album's really good. The final album's really good. You got all these other releases and whatnot, but Tin Pan Alley, Shake, Rattle and Roll. I mean, and I love his vocals. Very distinctive singer. And, one of those guys, you look at the life, again, like a lot of these really, really famous rock stars we've had since the 60s, shine brightly for a few short years and then snuffed out for various reasons. Kind of that way with Stevie. I mean, all sorts of addiction issues throughout the 80s. I remember seeing the first time I saw him live in a pretty small little venue, I think on the Couldn't Stand the Weather tour, if I remember correctly. I had like second or third row, and you could tell he was pretty lit up on something. You could just tell. And then, the end of the 80s, right, he finally gets himself clean, does that big tour with Jeff Beck, big selling album, and then we lose him in a helicopter crash. Terrible, right? Just what a terrible way to snuff out an amazing, amazing talent. But yeah, this debut to me is just really special. I remember buying this when it first came out, and I was all in on this guy. All in on this guy. Tremendous technique, and he could play Jimi Hendrix songs like it was no tomorrow, right? Of course, the Voodoo Child on the second album. But, more importantly, he was just a tremendous, tremendous blues guy who could rock also. We've seen lots of really great blues rock players over the years. Jeff Healey, who we lost as well. You got Joe Bonamassa. I mean, the list is long and filled with tons of great players, but there'll always only ever be one Stevie Ray Vaughan, right? Always had the hat on, always playing that beat-up strat. Guy was special. So there you have it. Texas Flood, Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble is my pick today, day 5. Let us know what you think of this great album in the comments below, as well as your pick for day 5 as we march our way to number 28 each and every day. So like I said, I'm actually going to be away all week on a business trip. I will be in Boston for the week, but I am pre-recording all of these videos, so you'll have them each and every morning. So, but also stay tuned this week. We've already recorded In the Proxy for Tuesday night, so you'll have that, and we've already recorded UK Connection, so you'll have that, and we've recorded Friday Morning at the Funhouse, so you'll have that on Friday. So I don't get back till Friday afternoon, but everything will be pre-programmed on the channel, so you've got everything ready there, waiting for the premiere for you to dive in and watch it. And so enjoy it all. And we'll see you tomorrow morning for another album that is 40 years old in 2023. Till then, I am Pete Pardo. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also down below, we've got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, which we thank you for, and our merch page where you can get all sorts of great Sea of Tranquility stuff like this excellent, I call this the Death Moth, right? The Sea of Tranquility Death Moth. We got this, we got the whales, we have the dragonflies, we got the straight logo shirts, Hudson Valley Squares shirts, we've got In the Prague Seat shirts, we've got Monsters Den shirts, even my second channel, Comic Book Geezers. By the way, if you are someone who does not know that I have a second channel, I do. It's called Comic Book Geezers, and we show all sorts of cool stuff like this, old classic Marvel comics, old classic DC comics. We go all the way back to the 60s, 70s, and the 80s. We don't do much after that. We're mainly old school guys. That's why it's called Comic Book Geezers. So if you haven't checked out Comic Book Geezers, we would love to have you over there as well. We publish 3-4 videos a week over there. So please come on over, hit that subscribe button, and enjoy all the fun over there as well. It's very lighthearted stuff. We open up the comics. We show you, tell stories, all that kind of stuff, because we got tons of comics. So there, you have it. I'll see you next time here on the channel. I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.